All right, first thing we're going to do today is change the oil on Mr. Beetlebug here, or Mrs. Beetlebug, whatever you choose. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 10 millimeter bolts. Yes, I found my 10 millimeter socket. That's always a miracle. And we'll just take this loose and let the oil drain down in the pan. All right, so here's what we're looking at. This is the screen. They don't have filters on VWs. They just have a screen. So you gotta get that cleaned up really good. This is the plate. And as you can see, this is super sludgy oil. So this thing was well overdue for an oil change. A lot of, almost feels like grease. It's so thick. So I think we caught this just in time for a nice oil change. And then I got the Felpro gasket, which will go on either side of this screen, and then we'll bolt it back up there. So I'm gonna do a little cleaning, and then we'll be all set. Show you one of the troubleshooting methods for the generator, which is right on top here. I'm going to disconnect the battery, and if the generator is working, the engine would stay running, but if it's not, it's going to shut off. So there you can see I disconnected the battery and the engine shut right off. So that tells me this it's got to get replaced, and it's a bit of a job, but I got one on order and we should have it by Thursday. Okay, a couple tests for the generator on these bugs. Not an alternator, but we're talking about this, and I said the generator light is on, and there's a couple different ways to test it, and I've already tested one way. And that is if the engine is running and you take off the positive cable of the battery, then the engine will shut off right away. And that happened. Okay, the other test to run on this is if you're going to connect up the generator, because the generator is basically the same as a motor. And basically you're going to connect up the negative side over here. And if the positive side sparks when you connect it, then you got a problem. There. So you can see that spark. So that's an issue. We're going to have to take this, pardon the wires here. We're going to have to take this generator out and replace it. And that is quite a job on these Beetles. A lot of people say you got to pull the whole motor out, but I've seen how to do this without doing that. But we will need to take the carburetor off. We'll need to, I've already taken the belt off. As you can see, there's a bolt on the back of the fan. So we'll have to take that fan bolt out. And there's some, a strap that holds the generator on to get this all out. So it's quite a job, but here we go. Hey, Mark Meldrum, Meldrum's Monster Garage, and we're at the back of this Beetle. That's where the engine's at. And as you might see, you'll notice a few missing parts right now. I had to take the carburetor off. It's sitting in the box over here. And then I had to take the generator off, which is attached to this fan. That's why they call it air-cooled. And, oh, just almost slipped on my chair. Anyway, we got a new generator, and we're putting that back in right now. So I'm not going to do a how-to video on that, but I will give my neighbor Jason kudos for bringing me over some big wrenches here He brought me over a nice 36 that goes on the back nut of the fan here. And he brought me over a nice long wrench so I could get some leverage on there. So thank you, Jason, for bringing that over. I'll get that back to you tonight. If it's raining. Boy, is it raining out there. It's a heck of a storm going on. But I'll take another snapshot when I get this mounted back up here. All right, we got it all back together. Let's start her up. All right, no generator light. So that's obviously a good thing. Sounding good. Let's go back here. Look at how the engine's running. Everything's looking good there. No leakies. All right, I'm gonna do my trick of disconnecting the battery again. And we'll see if the engine shuts off. All right, engine's still running. So the generator's working. Cool. We'll get everything tightened up and get this thing back to Judy. All right, there you go. We're done with the Beetle Bug. I thought I'd go over a few things that we didn't do off camera. So like I said, when it got here, all the brakes were pretty much locked up. So the front two brakes, I went ahead and adjusted. There's little wheels behind the drum brakes. It's drum brakes all the way around, and I loosened those up just a little bit, and the rear brakes finally kind of let loose, so the car, it doesn't roll real good, but it rolls on under power, so I'm happy with that. Got a new battery in it. You saw me using that for testing from Napa, and while I was over there getting a new battery at Napa, Firestone is right next to them there in Elyria. I took the wheels over there and had them balance the wheels. All the wheels were out of balance. I think the tires are about 8 years old, so they're getting up there. About 10 years is about as much as you want to go with a radial tire. So they're getting up there in age. Like I said, the wheels were out of balance. Man, it's raining cats and dogs here. It's crazy. But the rear wheel here on the passenger side was bent. So it's not bent bad. It's not something you can look at it and say, yeah, that's a bent wheel. It's something you see on the balancer, and the guys told me about that when they wrote up the report. And kudos to Firestone. I tell you, I brought those tires up there. They told me it was going to be a day or so. They're telling me they have a hard time keeping mechanics on duty. They got a lot of work to do, and just like everywhere, you can't find labor nowadays. But they did tell me that that wheel is bent, and like I say, they gave me about 2 hours. They got that done, so that was great. They were telling me at least a day, and they got it done in a couple hours. So kudos to them. What else? I did tighten up all the suspension components the best I could. It probably could use a complete rebuild, but I don't want to go there. Let's get the car out, let's drive it, let's see how it feels for a while, and run some gas out of this thing. I want to get it out on the road, but I can't because it's raining like crazy right now. But it needs a good exercise, and maybe that'll straighten out a few of the problems. Shifting wise, these cars got a real sloppy shifter to start with, and I'm not sure what's good and what's bad on a Beetle. But I can get this thing into gear, and first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, pretty easy. It is hard to get back into first gear to get started again. So, maybe that's just going to need some exercise. I'm not sure. But at least we got it going through all the gears. Judy was complaining she couldn't get it into fourth. Fourth is one of the easier gears to get it in now. What else? I think that's about it. There's some interior things going on with the car, some missing cranks and stuff. I don't know if we want to get into that. I'm going to button her up, get her back to Judy, see what she wants to do with the car. I feel good that it's running, driving,
and at least safe as far as all the directionals work, the brakes work, and the engine is running good. So let's get it back to her, and I don't want to shock her, give her too much sticker shock on what we replaced, like the generator, the battery were some of the expensive items. The wheel balancing wasn't too bad, but that's about it. All right, Mark Meldrum, Meldrum's Monster Garage. Hey, we can work on all these old cars, and here's proof. See ya. Hey, just to show you, I wasn't kidding. Here's Lake Meldrum back here. Normally that's all grass, and we got a little pond over there going on. The creek is overflowing, so it is rain, rain, rain here, and even coming onto the porch here, that's a little bit of a low spot. And we got grafting cable out there working on my internet, but yeah, it's a rainy day, so I'm gonna get back and hunker down and make sure the basement keeps dry, which it has been so far. Hope it didn't jinx myself. Fix my cable, grafting cable. Thank you.